Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Microsoft Flight Simulator, and today is a very special day for me. As simulation or not, I get to fly one of my most favorite aircraft as a child growing up, the P-38 Lightning. And I figured I'd take you guys along for the ride, so stick along with me because I think you guys will enjoy this one. If you are interested in acquiring any of my Overkills tutorial guides for Microsoft Flight Simulator, please consider joining me on Patreon. Patreon subscribers level tier 2 and above have access to all of my guides, as well as any future updates and future guides that will be coming down the road. Link to Patreon can be found in the description below. Alright, so getting right into it, Flying Iron Simulations, as you can see there on the nose cone, released their P-38 Lightning L, and this thing has a ton of very awesome features with it. Now, we have yet to be airborne with it, but I've read through some documentation, was looking around the cockpit, and was very, very impressed with what we've got so far. Now, I will tell you guys that my knowledge of the aircraft is sort of fluttered all over the place. I always loved this aircraft as a kid simply because of how it looks. It just looks gorgeous. Like, I love the lines of the P-38. She was probably just one of the most beautiful aircraft of her era. Like, it really doesn't matter. She was very capable, although not the most capable, right? But there was something about this aircraft that has blown me away since the day I first laid eyes on her. Like, she's sort of a long lost old love, if you will. I mean, if you just look at this aircraft, guys, it's so stunning. She's so beautiful. I absolutely love the work that was done with this aircraft. I'm just absolutely love it. Yeah, I can't say it enough. I'm literally giddy. I'm sitting here in my chair giddy like a little schoolboy, right? I built a model of the P-38 when I was a kid. Always had toy airplanes of the P-38, and now here we are, finally a simulator where we get to fly it around. Like, I'm super stoked for this flight. The P-38 had such an amazing history. She went through so many different variants. She was a reconnaissance aircraft. She was a ground attack aircraft. She was a fighter. It's actually the aircraft that is believed to have shot down Admiral Yamamoto in World War II. Charles Lindbergh had to come out and teach the pilots how to properly fly her. Pilots were basically, they weren't trimming her out correctly, weren't trimming the props out correctly and feathering it correctly, and were limiting her range by a lot. Just by coming out and showing the pilots how to properly pitch the propellers and whatnot, extended her range dramatically, and that's actually what made the attack on, again, the believed attack on what killed Admiral Yamamoto possible, was that the P-38s were actually able to get out there and get him. So it's just a neat aircraft, and then at the same token, she was dangerous, absolutely dangerous to fly. She could be really, really nasty on the ground and really nasty during transition of flight, right? So I'm really excited to see what Flying Iron has done with this aircraft. The graphics look beautiful. The textures are amazing. So without listening to me gawk anymore over this aircraft, because I could do it all day long, let's go ahead and step into the seat and see what she's like. Alright, so stepping into the seat right away, again, it looks beautiful. Like, I don't have any complaints here. There might be one or two spots that maybe could use an adjustment here or a tweak there, but crap, which one doesn't? You know what I mean? All right, this thing just looks wonderful. I love some of the modern avionics that were put in it. You know, we got a transponder here. You know, so she's been retrofitted, and this is the Lima version of the aircraft, one of the final releases of this particular bird. So she's got a few bells and tweaks, and then some few other things that we're going to be able to add here that we're going to talk about in just a minute. But giving you guys just a moment to talk about the textures, you can see again, great work, great effort was put into the making of this incredible piece of history. One thing I do want you guys to be aware of right off the bat, if you notice, the brake pedals are in the up position, meaning the parking brake is not set by default, so don't let that get you. Just one of these engines starting up, if modeled correctly, she'll start rolling. Okay, so we'll see what happens there, but I can almost guarantee it. Now, the other thing I want you guys to be aware of real quick before we get started here is, notice my mouse, okay? Nothing. Now we got a clicky, no clicky, clicky. Let's go ahead and do the clicky. and we get a little tablet. I also want to note that Got Gravel, the maker of the Vertigo, joined the Flying Iron Simulations team shortly before the development of this particular aircraft began. So I just thought that was kind of neat. I read that in their documentation. I thought that was kind of cool. I figured I'd share it with everybody. All right, so we have checklists. These are very well done. Fuel selectors. Well, there's one part that's a little weird. You guys will know it right when you see it. But we have this checklist. We also have, it does correspond with the checklist that is in-game and interactive. It's totally up to you. I like just sort of walking through the step-by-step here. I'm pretty familiar with this aircraft. I think we're going to be okay starting it up. We'll see what happens. Engine start. Got our checklist here. Let's see here. What does it got running through? Yeah, I think we'll be okay. It's a little generic. There's a couple steps missing, but it's all right. We'll make it work. Compass switch, cool, you know, and then takeoff. This is the one that's like, all right. Doesn't tell you takeoff power, doesn't tell you RPM setting, doesn't tell you, it just says get your gear up. So, you know, we'll make it work, right? And the in-game checklist says the same thing, so just be ready for that. I found that amusing. Now, one of the things that they did state in the documentation for this aircraft that can be found in the installation folder, there's actually a documentation folder. One of the things I did read in their PDF was they do recommend that you look at a real-world P-38 Lightning guide, or I should say Pilot's Operating Handbook. They are available, so that might be something that we take a look at in a future release. I plan on definitely doing more videos with this aircraft. I love this plane. Anyway, moving on. See, off I go again. Now, it does give you a pretty good approach. You know, propeller control down to 2650 RPMs, reduce speed to 160 knots. Supercharger, make sure the light is out. Okay, we obviously don't want the supercharger on approach. That could be bad. Fuel tanks on, booster pumps on. I would hope the fuel tanks are on during all positions of flight, but call me crazy. And then propeller control full forward. And let's see here, flaps down. So, miscellaneous. Let's see what we got in here. Oxygen regulator open. This is above 10,000 feet. As we know, need oxygen up there. Fuel pumps need to be on. Release the drop tanks, left and right side select switch arm, master switch arm, release, boom, and we'll do that. We'll take care of that. Fuel dump key bind is how we drop the tanks. That's good to know. Going to your V-speed calculations here. Here you go, design cruise speed. Okay, looking at, she cruises about 279 knots. She can dive at 445 knots. Real quick, another piece of history. Got to do it. So, I can't remember which version it was, but the early versions of the P-38 did not have dive brakes, and actually quite a few versions of the P-38 did not have dive brakes. And so she would fall under compressibility. Okay, compressibility is basically the airspeed or the airflow going over the control surfaces is so strong that the pilot no longer has the ability to counteract those forces. So therefore, you know, you can't pull up or down, or you can't turn the rudders, whatever. They're just, that wind pressure is just keeping those control surfaces right where they are. It's called compressibility or compressibility lock. And so it wasn't until the later versions of the P-38 that dive brakes were even added to this aircraft. And the initial dive brakes, if you will, were actually kits that were sent out to the fields once they realized what the problem was. It wasn't even until the much later versions where they actually were coming off the factory with dive brakes installed. So, little piece of history. Max flaps, extended speeds. Here we got 150 at 40, 250 at 20, 250 at 8. So, good to know there. Let's see here, maximum gear, 175. These are things that we'll probably check out as we get through. Oh, these are miles per hour versus knots. That's true. I didn't even think about that. Let's go into live data. This is pretty cool. Gives you, everything's going to be live. Once we get the engine started, we'll come back and I'll show you guys this again. But you guys can see indicated airspeed, true airspeed, and then ground speed. So kind of neat to have this up. It really is kind of cool. Autopilot, it does have an autopilot functionality. You can come directly here to the pad and take control of it. Settings, this is the other one I wanted to show you guys. So with engine damage, you can turn that on by default. Just because I don't want to ruin the video, and I could totally see me doing it with as giddy as I am right now, I'm going to leave engine damage off. I don't want to break the engine, but I can tell you it's probably the same principles like we have with the Corsair from Milviz. You know, you run that thing hot, you'll watch that oil blow all over your windshield. So hypoxia, okay, don't forget to turn your oxygen off if you have that checked, or to oxygen on, I should say. GPS, we can put in the 430 there if you prefer to have that there. Same thing with the gun sight. If you want the gun sight available, you can. We're going to leave that off today. We're just going to enjoy ourselves. And then the yoke, you can enable it or disable it from here. It's totally up to you. All right, but this is pretty awesome. Let's turn the GPS off. I do not want the Garmin on right now. I just want to enjoy her in her as original beauty as I can have her. All right, so we have that little piece tucked away there. I just wanted to make sure to show you guys that before we got going. Now let's fly her. All right, my friends, let's get her started up. I'm super excited for this. So let's see what we got here. We got our fuel pump switches back here in the back. There's the left and right tank. We have our fuel tank selectors. We're going to want them set to reserves for engine start. And then we're going to want them set to emergency on takeoff. Well, let's see here. Does it have that? Drop tank on. Yeah, it should be on the drop tanks at takeoff. Okay, and let's see here. Let's come up here. You beautiful beast. And battery comes on here. We have our wing and tail lights. Let's get them on. Landing lights remain off. Again, the gun sight, totally up to you guys. Generators, we'll turn them on after the engines are up and running here. Same with the compass here. So, let's go ahead and prime that left engine. We're just going to hold the primer down for a few seconds here. Lift her on up. Let's also make sure our propeller pitch is in the full forward position. Now, normally you would also release the mixture at the time of engine start. However, I believe this is modeled to trigger automatically, so we'll see what happens here. So first, we want to hit you're going to have right engage and right start. You're going to have left start and left engage. So 3 position switches here. So first we want the starter, or excuse me, the engager. So we're going to go up on the switch here. Let it rotate for a few seconds. Oh, wait. Missing a critical piece. Magnetos would be good. Let's rinse and repeat that. Turn on your magnetos. Okay, got a good rotation. And fire that starter. There she goes. Beautiful. Alright. Let's crack the throttle just a little bit. Let's rinse and repeat for that right engine there. So on the right engine, we're going to come on down with our primer. Come down with the engager. And let's light up that coil. Oh, I might have missed it. I did. Let's try that again. That was bad mouse work. Let it rotate for a few seconds. And grab it quickly. Come on. Come on. There she goes. And let's get those generators turned on. Did it actually flip up? Yes, it did. Alright, let's turn our compass on. Beautiful. You beautiful beast, you. Ah! She's just so gorgeous. Alright. Should be able to switch over. So there's our wing tank cross section. Alright, cool. We'll wait till we get to the runway before we move on over. Alright, so this should be our rudder trim. There's pitch. Fixed pitch if we wanted. Ah, cool. I wonder if that's modeled. Interesting. I'm just enjoying looking around, guys. I promise we're going to get taxiing in just a minute. I'm just enjoying myself. Oh, there we go. Oh, she won't let go. Can't tell if we're on or not. I don't think it is. Alright. I'm not going to waste too much time with the ADI. I'm clearly missing something, but we'll figure out what that is later. I'm really not concerned about the ADI. I mean, you could take all the gauges out, and I would not care right now. All right, let's see here. I think that's everything that we need for takeoff. So let's do this. Let's do this. I'm gonna leave the window open for now until we get to our runway. We're going to pretend the entire airport belongs to us. The whole world belongs to us right now. We're flying in a P-38. Alright, so let's... yeah, baby. Ah, you're the most beautiful thing with 3 wheels. Most beautiful thing with 3 wheels. Yes, you are. You know it, don't you? Yeah, you do. You know how gorgeous you are. Mercy. She's stunning. She is stunning. And those wheels, very clearly, very responsive. There we go. Alright, let's get back in the seat so I can pay attention to what we're doing here, because I'm already taxiing like a fool on top of everything else. Nowhere close to correct taxiing here. Alright, let's start bringing the canopy down. So we're going to click here and lock her up. We have to lock both sides. Good. Alright. I do wish the sound was dynamic. As we close the canopy, there wasn't any change to volume. I'm trying to keep my review honest here, guys. So, or unbiased, I should say. Not honest, but unbiased. Because this aircraft is fantastic. Alright, we're approaching that their runway, so let's lock her up for a minute. Landing lights turned on, pitot heat turned on. Now we should be able to switch down to the emergency tanks. Good. Alright, both engines still running. Fuel exchange happened perfectly. Alright, forgive me there. The wife had the audacity to send me a text message when I'm flying a P-38. Who does that to somebody? There should be rules. We don't bother them during Grey's Anatomy or something. Actually, my wife's not one of those women. She doesn't like Grey's Anatomy, but still. You catch the gist, right? There's got to be rules. We're allowed to have our moment. This is my moment. This is my moment. Alright, let me lock her up here. Let's bring our flight yoke back. There she is. Look at that thing. Look at this. Ah, so beefy. There's this big old monster. That should be the gun safety switch, I think. Ah, I love this aircraft, guys. I love it. Okay, here we go. Here we go. So, we are at full prop. We're at full mixture. Let's watch our RPMs here. There's about 2,700. Keep her nice and light here for a minute. Manifold pressure's at 2,000. Come on, baby. Come back left. I know we're not at max power. I'm doing that on purpose. I want to feel it. I want to feel it so gently. Here we go. Oh, baby. Come on. Come on. Oh, girl. Added a little bit more RPM on that. We went up to about 3,300 and she picked it right up. Let's get that gear up. There she goes. Accelerating well. Positive rate. Flaps coming forward. And let's see our lady. Oh man, look at that, guys. Flying iron, I will bear your children. She's beautiful. Alright, let's get in here. Alright, now I unfortunately forgot to fix my trim setting, so we're going to have a bit of an odd behavior here for a second, but I got to change these fuel tanks out. So let's go back to the main tanks. Come on. Okay. Look at that, guys. Oh, man. I don't even care what the flight model is. I really don't, but I can tell you it's fantastic. Out of principle, I feel like I owe you an explanation. She flies very, very well. At the same token, I'm having to make numerous corrections here, just sort of, even in a light cruise like this. Feet are still on the rudder pedals. Normally by now they're off of it. But she's great. I mean, you guys can see the turbulence sort of rocking her and bouncing her, so clearly the flight model's definitely intact. These engines, oh my goodness gracious, look at them. And they couldn't have done a more. Look at that! Look at her! Oh my God, she's gorgeous. I love it. I'm in love here, guys. This is. So she is 45 Australian dollars. Okay, I don't remember what that came out to in US dollars, and I can tell you I would pay it again. Absolutely. And I didn't do any research. I saw that the aircraft was available and I jumped all over it. I didn't even know she was coming, guys. I don't know how I missed that. Maybe I caught it at some point, but I didn't even know she was coming. Let's pull those props back a bit. Some of the sounds seem like they might need a little work, a little refining, but oh man, I mean, she's flying gorgeous. God, she's flying so gorgeous. I could spend 4 hours in this plane, guys. And that's only because any longer than that, my wife would get mad at me. She's fantastic. I would like to see an improvement in the exterior sounds. You know, it's amazing that this aircraft never got Merlin engines. You know what I just saw, though? Hold on a second. Son of a gun. That's why. Oh, flying iron. Oh, yes. I don't need to say anything, guys. I really hope at this point I do not need to say anything. If you are not already pulling your credit card out and doing what you got to do, the yard work, mowing the yard, washing the wife's car, whatever you got to do, if you're not doing it already, then, you know, call me, you know, because clearly we need to talk. You know, if you've got something you need to get off your shoulders, I'm here for you. That is fantastic. I forgot these things had rolling windows. That was awesome. It wasn't until we were looking at that external view and I saw them open and I was like, son of a gun. That's what it was. So, as far as not having dynamic sounds, I retract my previous statement. Now, the one thing you still, I wouldn't recommend doing this particular aircraft is bailing out, because, yeah, that was sort of a scary situation. Not like bailing out is ever not, but this one you had to worry about the plane taking you out. Alright guys, so here's what we're going to do now. I can jabber on this aircraft all day long, and if I'm not careful, if I haven't already done it, what's going to happen is I'm just going to end up, you know, gabbing on about this aircraft for the next 20 days. So let's go ahead and start heading back home. I'm going to get us set up for a landing, and yeah, we're gonna land this beauty. So stay tuned for just a moment. Alright my friends, there is our airport right here. We switch our tanks back to the emergency tanks. We're going to be watching our airspeed. I'm going to get her down to about 160 miles per hour. There it is, right there. So we're pulling about. We're a little hot. Not too bad. Let's get our RPMs back to where they're requesting. 2650, somewhere in that area. Start turning final here. I'm going to pull some manifold pressure off. I love this plane. God, I love this plane. What I'd give to fly on a real one, man. Alright, we're at 160 knots. We're going to go stage 1 flaps. Bring our landing gear down. I'm going to add a little bit of power back in. Compensate for the drag. Put quite a bit of power back in, actually. Kind of hard to see the runway in this one. Big giant wing just blocks everything, doesn't it? It's a rocket. There we go. Alright. Worst case scenario, we'll rocket. Let's see her with the wheels. Ah! Ah! Oh my god. Oh my god, she's beautiful. Lock it, hold it, hold it. Wait, hold on. Hold on. We gotta get a better view here. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Screenshot opportunity. Go! Right there. I think we got it. I think we got what I wanted. Alright, come on, baby. Now you're getting fast on me. Alright, we're coming down with full flaps at this point. I'm going to be doing this all day. I cannot wait to get into VR with this aircraft. It is absolutely happening today. Alright guys, here we go, my friends. There's our base turn there. Slight descent. By the way, we are at Okinawa. This would be kind of a fun place to fly the P-38. Significantly more friendly terms, thank goodness. Turned a little too soon. Not too bad. If I just lighten up that turn a little bit, we'll be good. We're a little low on the approach speed. I'm gonna add a little bit of power in here. Got a bit of a crosswind. Alright, moment of truth, guys. Ooh, she's coming in like a brick. Oh, I was expecting worse. I was expecting a lot worse. Whoa, 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 honey. No, 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 no. We do not wreck on our first date, my dear. Come on, tap those rudders. Come on, come on. Okay, so on landing, man, she wants to pull to the left. Holy crap, that was intense. So expect a lot of right rudder, I would say 1 to 2 seconds after touchdown. A lot of right rudder. A lot of right rudder. I used differential braking. I ended up tapping the toe brakes, and that made her knock it off. So just be ready for that. But not bad for a first time landing. I will absolutely take that. Alright, flaps coming forward. There's your flap sounder right there, letting you know position. Ah, guys, I am so happy, and as soon as this recording is done, I will be going right back up in this aircraft again. I have not had this much fun in a new plane in quite a long time. I'm going to tell you guys that right now. Now, please keep this in mind, guys. Please remember as I say those words, this aircraft is a childhood dream. Okay, so just remember that. Okay, it's I am not discrediting any other developer when I say those words. But I'm just simply saying that Flying Iron Simulations lived up to the expectation the moment I saw this aircraft. I love it. I love it. I love it. So I will shut my mouth at this point and tell you guys to let me know what you guys think if you purchase the Flying Iron Simulations P-38 Lightning. Please, please, please share your stories, guys. I would love tell me what your stories were as a kid. If you guys had similar thoughts as a kid seeing this aircraft, and then tell me what your experiences are in the simulation. As always, guys, stay safe, stay healthy, keep flying, and I will see you in the next one.